You feel it, don't you? That quiet sense of disconnection. Like you're doing everything right, yet something deep inside feels off. You scroll, you consume, you chase, but you can't shake that gnawing emptiness. The faint whisper that says, "This isn't it." You try to drown it out with noise, distractions, and busyness. But late at night, when the world falls silent, it returns. You wonder, why does life feel so overwhelming when humanity has supposedly advanced so far? The truth is, we've lost something ancient. Something our ancestors knew instinctively. Something philosophers spent their lives trying to understand. And until we remember it, we'll keep spinning in circles, endlessly searching for meaning in a world that's forgotten how to stand still. 1. The ancient calm in the modern storm. 2,000 years ago, while empires burned and wars raged, a man named Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, wrote quietly in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He was surrounded by chaos, betrayal, plague, political corruption, and yet his words radiate calm. He found peace not by controlling the world, but by mastering his perception of it. Now compare that to us, living in the safest, most technologically advanced age in history, and yet anxiety, burnout, and depression are at record highs. Why? Because we're trying to control everything except the one thing we can, our own minds. Ancient philosophy wasn't abstract theory, it was survival training for the soul. Stoicism, Buddhism, Taoism, even early Christian mysticism all pointed to one central truth. Inner order creates outer peace. But modern life has inverted that. We seek outer success, hoping it will bring inner peace. It never does. 2. The trap of endless becoming. Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can dare almost anyhow." But today, we've lost our why. We live in the age of becoming, always becoming something else, richer, smarter, more attractive, more productive, but never being. Our ancestors woke up and prayed. We wake up and check notifications. They sought alignment with the universe. We seek alignment with algorithms. You see, modern culture whispers a dangerous lie, that happiness is a destination, not a state of being. That peace is something you earn once you've achieved enough. But the ancient philosophers knew, peace is what you return to, not what you chase. It's already within you, buried under layers of noise, comparison, and fear. 3. Plato and the cave we live in. Imagine you've spent your entire life inside a dark cave, chained to a wall, only able to see shadows cast by a fire behind you. To you, those shadows are reality. That's Plato's allegory, a metaphor for human ignorance. And in a sense, we've built our own digital cave. Our walls are screams. Our shadows are curated images of other people's lives. We mistake these flickering projections for truth. And when someone dares to step outside, to disconnect, to think differently, to seek silence, we call them strange. But maybe they're just waking up. Plato's message was simple, but brutal. Most people would rather cling to comforting illusions than face the blinding light of truth. And here's the uncomfortable part. That includes you. It includes all of us. Because truth is painful, growth is uncomfortable, and freedom demands responsibility, something modern life teaches us to outsource. 4. The forgotten power of stillness. In ancient Greece, a philosopher named Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice." Everything flows. Everything changes. Yet today, we resist that truth. We chase permanence, permanent beauty, permanent happiness, permanent relevance. But life is movement. To live well, you must learn to let go of identities, expectations, and even your own plans. The Stoics practiced premeditation malorum, imagining worst-case scenarios to train the mind not to fear loss. Buddhists practiced meditation to dissolve the illusion of the self. Even Machiavelli, the so-called prince of manipulation, taught that the wise person adjusts their nature to the changing winds of fortune. These were not pessimists, they were realists, people who understood that peace comes not from avoiding chaos, but from dancing with it. Stillness is not the absence of movement, it's the ability to remain unshaken within it. 6. The war within. You might think the greatest battles are fought outside, between nations, ideologies, or armies. But the real war has always been internal. Bonhoeffer, imprisoned by the Nazis, once wrote, "Freedom is not something that can be given, it must be claimed by the strength of the soul." We live in a society obsessed with external freedoms, freedom of speech, choice, consumption, yet we are slaves to our impulses. We've mistaken indulgence for liberation. You can't be free if you're ruled by every desire, every notification, every opinion. True freedom begins the moment you can say no to yourself. Ancient wisdom wasn't designed to make you comfortable. It was meant to forge you. It demanded discipline, restraint, courage, qualities we now label as restrictive or old-fashioned. But maybe that's exactly what we've been missing. 7. The courage to stand alone. In every era, there are two kinds of people: those who conform to the noise and those who withdraw long enough to hear their own thoughts. Socrates drank poison rather than betray his principles. Epictetus endured slavery and found serenity. Jesus walked into crucifixion with forgiveness on his lips. They all shared one trait: the courage to stand alone in truth. But standing alone doesn't mean rejecting society. It means refusing to let society define who you are. It means asking the questions everyone avoids and being willing to live without easy answers. Modern culture rewards loudness, not depth. But ancient wisdom whispers, it's in the silence that you rediscover yourself. 8. Reclaiming your soul in a mechanized world. Look around. Everything is optimized. Our time, our productivity, even our emotions. We're taught to hack our lives like we're machines. But you are not a machine. You are a soul, wild, fragile, infinitely complex. And the moment you start treating yourself like software to be upgraded, you begin to lose your humanity. The ancients lived slower, but deeper. They walked without headphones, listened without distraction, suffered without anesthetic. They lived fully. To thrive in this modern madness, you don't need more apps, systems, or goals. You need roots. You need silence. You need meaning. And meaning doesn't come from constant motion. It comes from awareness, the quiet, humbling realization that you're part of something timeless. 8. The return to wisdom. Maybe this is the real revolution, not faster technology, but ancient stillness. Not louder voices, but deeper thought. Not more opinions, but wiser silence. To live well today is to remember what humanity once knew. That strength is calm. That freedom is discipline. That happiness is presence.